Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Cameron and today I'm going to teach you guys how to make this crochet heart top. I'll insert like a little clip of what it looks like. This top is really easy, it's really beginner friendly. I would even go as far to say that it could be someone's first crochet project because all it is just double crochets with increases. So that's pretty easy to figure out. And yeah, let's get started. So the materials you'll need for this project is some yarn. I'm using 100% acrylic yarn and I'm using 4 colors.
Up
but you
to
can use
11 colors for the size that I'm making.
But if you're making a different size, you could use more or less. But it just depends on the size you're making. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make it in my size and then also how to make it bigger. So there's that. And then you'll need a crochet hook. I'm using a 4.25 millimeter. And you'll need some scissors and some stitch markers. For stitch markers, you can just use whatever you have, bobby pins, paper clips, yarn. You don't exactly have to have like the stitch markers. You can have something that will basically tell you where your stitch is. So starting with your first color, we're starting with the inside of the heart, and I'm going to be using white. You're going to take your color and you're going to chain 23. So after you chain your 23, you're going to chain 2 more. And then into that third stitch from the hook, you're going to do a double crochet. And then from there, you're going to do 9 more double crochets. So you'll have 10 double crochets in total. All in different stitches. Just 1 double crochet in the next 9 stitches. So now that you've made your 10 double crochets, we're going to double crochet 3 stitches together. And to do this, you're going to yarn over and act as if you're doing a double crochet into the next stitch. Pull through 2, but instead of pulling through the last 2, you're going to yarn over again, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then one more time, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then you'll have 4 stitches on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 4, like this. So once you make your decreases, you're going to mark the stitch that you connected all your stitches together with. So you just get a stitch marker and mark that stitch. It should be right here. And then from there, you're going to make 9 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, so after you've done your 9, you should have 1 stitch left at the end, and into that stitch, we're gonna make 5 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, and it's gonna carry you over to the other side. 4 and 5. So it should look like this. And then from there, work your 9. So once you do your 5, you're gonna take your stitch marker. You're gonna take a stitch marker and you're going to put your stitch marker in the first double crochet of the 5. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th stitch, place that stitch marker. And now on the foundation chain, we're gonna work 1 double crochet into the next 10 stitches. So we've made our 10 stitches and now we should be right under where we placed our 3 double crochets together. And instead of crocheting 3 together, we're going to be working 3 double crochets into 1 stitch. So here's 1, 2, and 3. Should look like this. Okay guys, sorry, I forgot to add this, but whenever you make your 3 double crochets in the middle double crochet, so the second double crochet, go ahead and add your stitch marker in there. And then from there, you're going to continue and you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 10 stitches. So you should be at the last stitch of your round before the double crochet start, and into that last stitch you're going to work 4 double crochets. And then you're going to take a stitch marker and you're going to mark the first stitch of those 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th one, put your stitch in there. And so now we can move on to our next color, or if you're keeping it one color, you can just keep going. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your yarn into that first double crochet of the round, like we're about to slip stitch. And then you're going to take your new color. I'm going to do light pink. So then you're going to take your new color and put it around your hook, making sure you're holding everything nice and tight. Pull through there and then pull through to make a slip stitch. And then you can just pull all of your strings nice and tight, and it creates this seamless color change. From there, you're going to chain 2, and into this stitch we just slip stitched in, we're going to make an increase. So we're going to work 2 double crochets into there. Like so. And make sure you're working over your tails so that you could just cut them off later without having to weave them in. And then we're going to continue making double crochets until we're 1 stitch away from our first stitch marker. So I've made it right before my stitch marker, and you can go ahead and take that out. And here's where you're going to work your double crochet 3 together. So yarn over, go into the stitch right before where our stitch marker was. We'll go into there, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into where our stitch marker was, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the stitch after that, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then pull through all 4 of those stitches and replace your stitch marker. And now we're going to work double crochets again all the way until we're 1 stitch before we reach the second stitch marker. So then you're going to work into that stitch right before the marker. Pull your stitch marker out. Once you take it off, we're going to be working 5 increases. So you're going to work 2 double crochets into this stitch. And then you can go ahead and put that stitch marker back in the first one out of the 2. And then 2 double crochets into the next 4 stitches, so that in total you'll make 5 increases. So here's 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So it should look like this. And then we're going to work until we reach our next stitch marker. Just regular 1 double crochet into each stitch. So I've reached my stitch marker, and now I'm just going to take my stitch holder out, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into where we had our stitch marker. So here's 1, 2, and 3. And into that second stitch, we're going to go ahead and insert our stitch marker again, and then we're going to work double crochets until we reach our next stitch marker. So just 1 double crochet into each stitch until we reach our last stitch marker. So I've reached the last stitch marker, and we can go ahead and take that out. And then like we did over here, we're going to be working 4 increases. So instead of 5, we're going to be working 4 because our beginning counts as the 5th one. So we're going to work 2 double crochets into where our stitch marker just was. And you can go ahead and put your stitch marker back onto that first double crochet out of the 2 we just made. And then 3 more increases. So here's 2, 3 and 4. And you should end with no stitches left. From there, we're going to do what we did at the end of the white row, where we slip stitch into that first double crochet, but we don't grab our color. We're gonna go in with our new color, and you can just pull that through. Remember to keep it nice and tight so that you can't see it later. Go ahead and chain 2. And then you're going to work 1 double crochet into the stitch we just made our slip stitch in. And then in the next stitch, we're going to make an increase. And then we're going to work double crochets until we're 1 stitch away from our stitch marker. So once we've reached that, we're going to start making our decreases. So you can take out your stitch marker and then yarn over. Here's 1, pull through 2, 2, pull through 2, and 3, pull through 2, and you pull through all 4 of those stitches. Go ahead and add your stitch marker back. And then work double crochets until you reach your next stitch marker. So we've reached our stitch marker and we can go ahead and take that out. And then we're going to be working an increase, a double crochet, an increase, a double crochet, and just keep doing that 5 times. So where we had our stitch marker, we're going to work an increase. And I'm going to go ahead and put my stitch marker back after that first double crochet. And then work the second one right in there. And then the next stitch, we're just going to make 1 double crochet. So that is 1. We're going to do that 4 more times. So here's another increase. And then after that, a regular double crochet. That was 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. And then here's 5. Now we're going to just work double crochets until we reach our next stitch marker. Just 1 double crochet into each stitch. So I went ahead and took that stitch marker out, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into where the stitch marker recently was. And I'm going to go ahead and put that stitch marker onto that second double crochet of the 3. And then you're going to work double crochets until you reach the next stitch marker. Just 1 double crochet into each stitch. So I reached my stitch marker. I'm going to go ahead and take that out. And then doing the same thing as we did over here, I'm going to work 2 double crochets into that stitch. Go ahead and mark that first one. 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And then I'm going to do that 3 more times, so we'll have 4 in total. So 1 increase and then a regular stitch. And then that should complete your 4th row of the heart pattern. So now we're going to slip stitch into that first double crochet, grab our new color, pull it through, chain 2, work a double crochet into that stitch we just slip stitched into. And now we're going to work 2 double crochets and then an increase. So here's 1, 2, and then we'll work our increase. And then we're going to work until we're 1 stitch away from the first stitch marker. Just 1 double crochet into each stitch. So now that I'm 1 away, I'm going to go ahead and take my stitch marker out. Work that 3 decrease. Place that stitch marker back. And then I'm going to work double crochets until I reach my next stitch marker. Now that I've reached my stitch marker, I'm going to go ahead and take that out. And I'm going to work an increase into that first stitch. Place my stitch marker back into the first one, out of the 2. And then I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So there's 1, and then in the next stitch, 1. And then I'm going to work 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. So I'm going to work that increase. And then we'll work 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So we're basically just repeating increase, and then 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches, increase, 1 in the next 2 for 5 times. So that was 2, here's 3. Four, and 5. Now I'm going to work 1 double crochet until I reach my next stitch marker. So we've reached the stitch marker. Now we can take that out, work our 3 double crochets into that stitch. Put your stitch marker into that second double crochet of the 3, and then work double crochets until you reach your last stitch marker. So I've reached my stitch marker. Now I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to work my increase into that stitch, placing my stitch marker back into that first double crochet. And then I'm going to do 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then I'll work another increase. 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And you should do this for a total of 4 times. So that was 2. And I'm going to do it 2 more times. So here's 1 increase. And then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 increase, and then our 2 double crochets. So as you can see, there's a pattern to it. It's basically going increase 1 round, and then increase 1 double crochet around, increase 2 double crochets around, increase 3 double crochets around, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll keep showing you guys how to do it, but if you get the pattern down, then you can go ahead and keep working that until you reach 8 double crochets until your increase. So that should equal 13 rows. And you can go ahead and do that, but if you still are a little confused, I'll show you guys how to do the next few rows. So go ahead and slip stitch like you're going to slip stitch, but go ahead and grab your new color. Pull your yarn through, pull your yarn through, pull everything nice and tight so it's seamless. Chain 2, work a double crochet into that stitch we slip stitched into. And then you're going to work 3 double crochets and then your increase. So here's 2 double crochets and 3. And then you're going to work an increase. And then you're going to work double crochets until you reach right before that stitch marker. So just 1 double crochet into each stitch. Now that I've reached the stitch right before the stitch marker, I'm going to go ahead and take my stitch marker out and make the 3 decrease. So pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Pull through all 4 of those stitches, reinsert that crochet hook, and then I'm going to work my double crochets until I reach the next stitch marker, making 1 in each stitch. Now that I've reached the stitch marker, I'm going to go ahead and take it out, and I'm going to work an increase into that stitch, putting my stitch marker back on that first double crochet of the increase. Then I'm going to work 3 double crochets and then another increase, and that will make 1. Every time you increase, that starts a new count. So we've done 1 increase, 2 increase, and we're working on our third one. And then our last increase, which is the 5th one. And then our 3 and then we're going to work double crochets until we reach our stitch marker. So we've reached our stitch marker, we can take it out, and then we'll work 3 double crochets into that stitch. Mark that second stitch. Then work double crochets until we reach our next stitch marker. So we've reached our stitch marker, we can go ahead and take that out. And again, we're going to work our increases with the 3 double crochets in between. So starting with an increase, mark that first stitch. Then we'll do 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Work another increase, and you should work 4 increases with the 3 in between, and then you'll reach your end. So I'll be back whenever I finish that. Okay, we're reaching the end, and I'm gonna do 1 more row with you guys, and then I'll leave you guys to it. So to start, we're going to go ahead and do our slip stitch, putting in our new color, pulling everything nice and tight. Go ahead and chain 2. Work a double crochet into where we just slip stitched. And then we're going to work 4 double crochets and then an increase. So counting that first double crochet, we're going to do 3 more. So it's 4 double crochets and then an increase. And then I'm going to work double crochets until I reach right before that stitch marker. So from here, I'm going to take my stitch marker out and work those 3 decreases. Pull through all 4, place that stitch marker back. And then you're going to work double crochets until you reach your next stitch marker. Once you reach stitch marker, take it out. Put an increase into that stitch. Place that stitch marker back into that first stitch. And then you're going to work 4 double crochets before you work your next increase. And that's what we're going to be doing. We'll do an increase, 4 double crochets, an increase, 4 double crochets 5 times. So I'll meet you guys when I'm done with that. So I've done all my 5 increases. Now I'm going to work until I reach my next stitch marker. just 1 double crochet into each stitch. Into that stitch, we're going to work 3 double crochets and mark that second double crochet. And then I'm going to work double crochets until I reach my next stitch marker. So once you reach your stitch marker, you can take it out and we'll work 2 double crochets into that stitch. Mark that first one. And then we'll work our 4 double crochets in between each increase until you reach the end of your row. Okay, working that last stitch. And then you're just going to slip stitch into that first double crochet with your new color and go around for 5 double crochets and then an increase, and then next round 6 an increase, next round 7 increase, next round 8 increase, and that's where we will stop. And you'll have 11 rows, so it'll be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, and then we will move on to the back of the top. If 11 rows is not enough for you, you can stop at 11, and then from there you're just going to work double crochets all the way around and all the way around and around. No increases, no decreases, just straight double crochets into each stitch until it fits your body the way you want it to fit, and then you can move on to working on the back. So yeah, I'll meet you guys whenever I'm done with this. And yeah, so once you finish all your rows, this is what you should be working with. And to finish it off, you're just going to do a slip stitch like normal into that first double crochet, chain 1, pull through. Now we're going to start working on our front 2 straps that wrap around the neck. So to do this, you just connect your yarn into that middle of the 3 double crochets we made here. And you can tie it with a double knot. Pull up a loop and chain 70. Once you've chained 70, you can just cut your yarn and pull through. Should look like this. And then you can put your next strap into the same stitch, but I like to do it in the one next to it because I feel like it overcrowds it a little bit when you do it in the same stitch, so I do it to the one next to it. And you're just going to attach it and chain 70 once again. Just finished that, and now I'm going to cut my yarn and pull through. And these are what to tie around your neck. Now we're going to start working on this side paneling that will wrap around your back. So it's going to look like this. And so what you'll do is you'll hold your top against you and you'll figure out where you want your back to start. And once you do that, you're going to mark that stitch, fold the top in half, and mark it on the other side as well. If you guys want specific details, I'll tell you how much I end up marking. But yeah, just hold it against you, figure out where you want the back to start, and make sure it's even on both sides at your stitch markers, and we can get started. So I mark mine at 25. So what I do is I not the middle stitch but the next stitch. I go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25, and I mark this stitch. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to fold the top in half and just making sure that my stitch markers are even, which they are, so we can move on to the next step. From here, you're going to count 12 stitches down from your stitch marker, and you're going to mark that stitch as well. So here would be 1 2 9 10 11, and then that 12th stitch I'm going to mark. Repeat that on the other side, just like this. So now on whatever side you want to start on, you're going to take your first stitch marker out and insert your yarn into that stitch, and then you're going to chain 10. You're going to chain 2 more as your turning stitch. You're going to skip those 2 stitches and double crochet into the 3rd stitch from your hook. Here, let me show that again, sorry. So I chained my 2 more, and then I'm double crocheting into the 3rd stitch from the hook. Now I'm going to work double crochets all the way down until I reach the end of my 10 double crochets. And after you do your 10, you're going to slip stitch into the next 3 double crochets. So here's one, making sure to keep everything nice and tight. Here's 2, and here's 3. From there, turn your work, skip those 3 slip stitches and work your 10 double crochets on top of your previous double crochets. Once you reach the top, chain 2, turn your work, and work 10 double crochets going down. You're then going to work your 3 slip stitches, turn your work, skip those 3 and work up, and you're going to keep going back and forth all the way until you reach your stitch marker, and then we can move on to the next step. So I'll be back. Once you finish that, you should be at the top, and what you're going to do is chain 2, work a double crochet into that previous double crochet, work a double crochet into that hole, chain 2, work it, skip the hole, work a double crochet into the double crochet, work a double crochet into the hole, chain 2, skip 2. So basically you're just working 2 double crochets, chaining 2, and you can just kind of put your stitches wherever you want. It doesn't have to be specific, but you're just wanting to make holes for your straps. So working my last stitch, and I'm gonna fit another one in there, so I'll have 2. It should look something like this. Now chain 1, turn your work, work single crochet into the double crochets we worked, 2 into the gaps, 2 into the stitches, 2 into the gap, 1 in the 2 stitches, 1 in the 2 gaps, or 2 in the gap, stitches, gap, stitches, chain 1, fasten off, and you're going to repeat this entire row for the back onto the other side, and then I'll show you guys how to attach the last string and how to sew in your loose ends, and we'll be done. Once you finish this, you're gonna make your strap, and all the strap is just a chain 200. So now that you've made your chain 200, I'm gonna show you guys how you would wrap it or how you would tie it. So you'd have the top held against you, and you put your loop through your first holes, and then you cross it over, go into the next hole. Same with the other one, cross it over, going to the next hole. Keep doing that, just keep crossing them and pulling them through the opposing holes. From there, you can just tie it like a shoelace. And now we can start sewing in our loose ends. So I like to use a darning needle, but I'll show you guys how to do it both with the darning needle and with the crochet hook. With a darning needle, you just take your loose end, and on the opposite side of the top, just pull it through random stitches along the bottom of the top. You can loosen it a little bit and then just cut it. And you do that for every loose end. For crochet hooks, it's the same thing. Just go through random stitches. Pull it through. And cut it. So yeah, I'm gonna weave in my loose ends, and I'll be right back. And that is how you crochet the Power Puff top. A little life hack: if you guys use acrylic yarn, you can take a lighter and you can just burn
those extra acrylic hairs and it will make your top look a lot cleaner. I love doing this with all my acrylic yarn tops. Probably shouldn't do this on my bed, but whatever. And I recommend doing this outside because it smells bad. But it makes your tops look so clean, like they were made with cotton yarn. And there you go. She's done. I'm gonna give her a little try on and then cue the outro. Here is the finished top. It is really adorable. And here's the back. Something I really like about this top is that you don't have to wear like the neck like this. You can make it strapless by literally just tucking them in. And just give it a good tuck. And boom, now your top is strapless. I'm so obsessed with this pattern, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you have a super cute top too. Comment what colors you made yours in because I'm really interested in making new colorways, but I just don't know which ones I want to make. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and cue the outro. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it was helpful. And I hope that it was very thorough and easy to understand and I hope it was very thorough and easy to understand and grasp. As always, if you guys have any questions, just comment them. Or if you guys see comments that are asking questions and you know how to answer them and you see that nobody else answered them, feel free to help them out. And yeah, if you guys make this, tag me because I want to see. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I love you. Let me know what you guys want to see next because I'm running out of ideas. All right, bye.